Welcome to this tutorial on importing external data into Sphinx. In this video, we will learn how to import datasets from Excel files and prepare them for analysis. We will also see how this process works both in IQ3, the desktop application, and in Sphinx Online. Sphinx allows you to import data from several external sources, including CSV files, Excel files, SPSS datasets, and SSS files. During the import process, you can configure different options to correctly interpret your data and prepare it for analysis. Understanding the data file. Before importing data into Sphinx, it is important to understand the structure of the dataset. Here, we have an example Excel file containing survey responses. Each column represents a variable, and each row corresponds to one respondent. The first row contains the variable names, and the second row contains the variable labels, which describe each question. For multiple choice questions, datasets can be structured in different ways. In some cases, each answer option is stored in a separate column, such as brand 1, brand 2, brand 3. In other cases, all selected responses are stored in a single column, separated by a delimiter such as a semicolon. During the import process, Sphinx can detect both formats and reconstruct the original multiple choice question. Importing in IQ. Let's now import this dataset using IQ3, the desktop version of Sphinx. To create a new study, select Tab Delimited Files and choose the Excel file. During the import process, we can configure several options. If the second row contains variable labels, we can activate the option indicating that the second line contains labels. This ensures that each variable is properly described. To correctly import multiple choice questions, we can use options such as merging columns with consecutive names. For example, brand 1, brand 2, and brand 3. If responses are stored in a single column with a separator, we can also detect them automatically. In the next step, Sphinx automatically detects the type of each variable. For example, variables can be identified as numeric, text, or closed questions. At this stage, we can review and adjust the variable if needed. Once everything looks correctly, we finalize the import and create the study. As you can see in here, we finally have our dataset imported correctly into Sphinx IQ3. Importing in Sphinx Online. Now let's import the same dataset using Sphinx Online. From the home page, click New Study and select Excel file as the data source. Next, click Select File and upload the dataset. Once uploaded, a preview of the dataset is displayed. This allows us to verify that the variables and values are correctly interpreted. Before finalizing the import, we can configure several parameters. We can select the language, enable value detection, and indicate whether the second row contains variable labels. If necessary, we can also ignore rows at the beginning of the file. During the import process, Sphinx Online can automatically detect multiple choice questions. If your dataset uses multiple columns for the same question, such as brand 1, brand 2, and brand 3, you can use the option Merge columns with consecutive names or Merge columns with the same names. This will group these columns into a single multiple choice variable. If your data is stored in a single column with responses separated by a delimiter such as a semicolon, you can use the option Consider a single column containing a separator. This allows Sphinx to interpret the values as multiple selections within the same question. Also, from the preview, each variable can be edited individually. You can modify the variable name, label, or data type if necessary. Once everything is correctly configured, you can give your study a name and click Create Study. Now the dataset is imported and ready for analysis. Importing external datasets allows you to analyze existing data directly within Sphinx. By correctly structuring your data and configuring the import options, you can quickly prepare your dataset for analysis.